This isn't just a normal talk. This was something major. There's a video by Supernatural Sounds, Talk to Yourself Like You Were God, or Talking to God. But what's weird is I talk to myself because I am God. And I'm not trying to sound stupid here, but during the last 40 minutes I just did a meditation that I would like to write out for other people, not for myself, not to benefit me, but I mean it's going to benefit me, but I want to do it for other people. It was like the spine line. It sounds really weird, but the way you explain it is that little dot that you can see when you look at the sun or something like that, you take that and make that into like a little tiny fizzy, sparkly particle. And even though, the chakras don't need the colors to represent them, we just give that something so we can understand them. They don't need to go with the certain emotions. They don't need to do a lot of stuff. We do that so it gives people direction. Basically, a belief system is what you give people to believe. If you believe that in yourself already, you don't need somebody to guide you, to tell you to have, confidence and self-respect and empathy and apathy and trust and loyalty and be grounded, and then you go up for confidence and sense of security, and then intelligence and enlightenment. Those things come from you if you find them, if you find where to look. Not like you know where to look, you find it. It's not like you need people to tell you it, but it helps. Those things definitely help. So the reasons they have the colors and that stuff makes sense, but you don't need all that. It's something inward. Like if you picture the color red, then yeah, you picture the color red for your root chakra, but if you feel it, you don't need the color red to feel it. You know what I mean? It just helps you separate and individualize those parts of the whole. It's all the whole anyway. So this meditation, I started with my feet and I started going from my toes, and I started I shut all my toes off at one time, like as if they were like little bulbs of light. And then after the bulbs of light on the toes, then I start going around like the shape of my foot, like and just sort of coloring it in with sort of, if you had a Photoshop, your cursor turns into that little dot, and you picture that dot like that, but it's like sparkle, because there's no screen. So if you can picture a screen like that, or whatever you picture for yourself, it's basically you start with your foot and you color it in, and basically you go up your leg, and if you can picture inside how it would look, you color in your muscle, you go around your muscle and up your tendons, and as you go up like a section at a time, so your left leg and your right leg, you'll do your feet, your left toes, right toes, boom, then you do your left foot, right foot, and sometimes you can do your feet and your legs at the same time. Sometimes it's weird, like your arms and your legs, you can sort of do it at the same time, and then it's easier that way, and I don't know why. I think they like sense each other. When you can sense one spot on your left leg, you can almost immediately jump over to your right leg. But long story short, because I'm going to write this out later and I need to do something, so then you go up your leg, each section up, and you picture your that cursor going into your leg muscles, and up to your, like in your ass, and into your, like your hip bones, and into your bones, and into your organs. Like, this sounds weird, but even through Kundalini and all these, everyone knows that sexual energy is strong. You take that cursor, and like if you were a woman, I guess you'd go around your vagina and you'd picture as much as you can in that area, and you just color it in with that cursor. And if you're a guy, you color in your testicles, like you go all around your balls and your cock and all that kind of shit. And you can make yourself hard doing it, and once you start being able to do that kind of stuff with that thing and you start moving around, I mean, that's the first thing that arouses you, and you're thinking like, wow, I can actually control this, and it really makes it obvious. And then you start moving it around your whole body, and oh my god, it's so crazy. And so you go from that, and so when you're in that area, you get yourself somewhat aroused, and then you take it from there to the bottom of your spine. Like you color in your feet up to your legs, up to your your lower legs up to your knees to your thighs on both sides, your hip area, your around your butt and around your back, and around. Then you sort of like color from the front, and if you can't picture around the back, then you color from the front over and over, like in heavy areas, so that it pierces through. The sensation goes to the back numbing. So basically, as you're coloring it in, you're just numbing or turning your body off, or just either way. You could either be extra sensorizing your body, like giving yourself more sensation. It's up to you. So you go up from to the spine, and you go from side to side in that chakra area, from the bottom to the bottom of the belly button, and you color it in from side to side, and you take time there, and you love all your organs, and you think about it, and basically, like, this is like from my heart, and I was like, I don't know why I've never thanked you before for being part of me. And you thank your body for being part of you and operating the way it does, and you feel those areas. Like, with that little particle, the more creative you can be, color in your stomach, color in your intestines, color in your spleen and your liver from side to side, your kidneys, from that spot in your mind. Your eyes are closed, you're taking deep breaths, and as you're holding your breath, you start clenching your PC muscle. Like if you're clenching your penis up or clenching your vagina, I'm sure you can do the same thing with your muscles. I've felt it from people. So yeah, so you clench that muscle and you hold it up, and as you breathe up, you feel it, the energy go up. So the spine line is just like almost like if you had something that was as wide as a 1-inch hose or something, and you just took a pencil line and you drew straight up it. The spine line is just that kind of energy feeling, like you visualize that kind of line up your spine. But then there's like the spinal tunnel, which is like you eventually be able to fill it up like it's a battery meter filling up, like all the way from side to side, like a thermometer, like that. If you had a thermometer, you drew a pencil line up the center of that, but then you filled the whole thing up from side to side, with like a big thick marker line, or just basically the whole width of it just fills up at once. And you can do that with the mentality. As you start coloring in your body from chakra to chakra, you move up to the next, if you need the colors, you do the red, then you go from red to orange and you color that in, and you go from orange to yellow and you color that in. Love the organs, take your time there. Go from there to yellow and picture the sun in the center of your solar plexus, and just picture every time you breathe in the sun getting bigger, like on the days where the sun is so huge and beautiful. And then you, excuse me, and you move up to your heart. When you get to your heart, you start getting to the area where your arms and your chest are, but then you just spend some time coloring in each rib bone, everything. You go around your back, you spend time, if you can't picture it, you color in the front until it goes to the back and the sensation moves and you feel the numbness or the love or whatever you want to call it. And then you move it up to the thymus or the thalamus, however you would call it, and then you go from there to the throat. And as I got to the throat, at that point, I started doing more hand gestures and going like a zipper motion from my root chakra up to my heart, and then my hands started feeling activated, and I felt that the energy everywhere I moved my hand. I could color that area almost like the size of the palm of my hand, so I could feel that being colored in around my body. And the sensation, then I would just remember that those sensations in my body, like my legs, I forgot that they were numb kind of thing, and I'd be like, oh, they're still numb, cool, you're still good. And I would remind them to stay relaxed and comfortable. And then I got up to my throat, and I don't think I've ever gotten that far before, straight through doing it consciously for 30 minutes, that was that focused. And I was coloring in my throat, and then I'd have thoughts and cry and be thankful, and then I'd come back to where I was, and I'd color in some spots that I was just at before to remind myself where my spot was, and I'd find it again. Sometimes you lose it, believe it or not, of course, and you find it inside yourself, and you move it up and move it all around. I got it it was in my throat and in my neck, and then you color in the bottom of your jaw and your tongue, your top of your mouth, your jaw line, all around your cheekbones and your cheeks, your outsides of your skin, your nose. And when you feel that sensation moving to the tip of your nose and around your nostrils when you want it to, you get so excited that you actually know that you are the god of your body, kind of thing. I guess that's how I could say it. And then you start coloring in the back of your eyes, coloring in your ears, coloring in everything like that, and getting it to your third eye. And when you start doing that, and then you start doing the zipper motion from there to your third eye, from there to your third eye, you spend time on your throat, you spend time on your face and on your third eye. When you get to your third eye and you spend some time there, then you start doing the zipper motion from there to the top of your head. And I started using both of my fingers as the doobie pinch thing with my fingers, my 3 fingers to the sky, pinky, middle finger, and ring finger, those ones up to the sky. My pointer and thumb pointed into both sides to my neck, to where my throat chakra is. And I started taking that, and as I breathed, I'd breathe in, and then as I breathed out, I'd move both hands up at the same time, and I would feel that energy kind of barrier between both fingers to my, like the triangular shape from my hand to my hand, and then to my hands to my neck. and I would move that energy up to the top of my head, and then I'd go extend my arms all the way up, and I would feel that energy and that barrier, or not that barrier, but that trinity of something there between the fingers and the heaven and my throat and my body, and it would move up my face through my third eye up to the thing, and I could see the motion in my head. I could see it moving up my cheeks, up my eyes, up my forehead, out to the top of my head and up into the air, and then I'd come back down with a breath, and then I'd put my fingers back together and put them in my throat, and then I'd blow back out, and then sometimes I would just, it wouldn't even matter about the breath, and then the energy just started moving itself, and it was just, I wish I could, I'll explain it more later, but I hope I got a lot of that and could explain it pretty well. So, I love you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.